What's going on? So I'm making to another video, and today is another special episode of Movie Review Wednesday on a Tuesday. Yes, usually when big movies come out, I'm like, I will wait, I will do it on Wednesday, I will make sure that it comes out on the same day. But today is such a special, important day with such a special and important movie that we had to talk about it today, the day after I saw it. But first, if you guys are new, thank you so much for taking time to click on the video, liking, commenting, subscribing. All that means the absolute world. Let me know down below what you think of the movie that we're going to be talking about today. Do you like, do you hate it? Let me know down below in the comments. And another thing, I have a very big, I would almost say ground-shattering update announcement video that is coming out on Friday. Yes, you heard me right. 3 videos this week. Huge announcement video coming out on Friday, so make sure you guys go check it out. It involves something we're doing right now, right here. So make sure you guys go check it out. But that is it for that. Today we are talking about a movie. You guys know it. You guys love it. It is the movie that came in at #1 on my most anticipated list for 2020. And I didn't think it would come out due to COVID. I was worried I wouldn't get to see it in time because, as you guys know, I am in Arizona. Arizona's been a hotbed for the pandemic this year, and I didn't think theaters would open in time, but theaters just opened last weekend, just in the nick of time to see this film. You guys already know what I'm talking about. It's literally right here in the background. Today we are talking about Tenet. So we're talking about Tenet, and I didn't want to say beforehand because I wanted to get to the reveal that we were talking about Tenet, but usually I would do a ranking video right afterwards. I'm going to be ranking Nolan's filmography. That's going to come next week. I want to do the update video on Friday just to get it out of the way, just to clear the air, and then next week you will be getting my ranking of all of the Nolan movies. I've seen his entire filmography. I haven't done that with any other director, I don't think. I don't think I've seen any director's entire filmography. I've seen Nolan's entire filmography, including Tenet. I have them ranked, ready to go. You guys will see that next week. But without further ado, this is basically how Movie Review Wednesday works. First thing I'm going to do is give you a synopsis, tell you what the movie is about. Then I will get into the actual, I will tell you what it is rated on certain rating websites, and I will get into the actual review, tell you the good, tell you the bad, tell you what I liked, tell you what I didn't like, and then at the end, I will get into the point breakdown. Basically what the point breakdown is I took it upon myself at the beginning of this year. I said, I don't want to just randomly lob rankings out. I want to have an actual system for how I rate movies. So I sat down, came up with a numerical system with categories that have different values. We will go through that at the end. We will cover all of that, tell you what each one is, tell you where the values are, and then you will get my ranking from 1 to 100. But before we get into the synopsis and before we start talking about the movie itself, I think you guys might just be curious to hear about the theater experience. I know Chris over at Filmstock has done a few vlogs going to the movie theater. And so you guys have maybe seen it from the perspective of like him in I believe he's in Georgia. But how is it to go to a theater in a place where COVID has been a hotbed the entire summer? It was interesting. I pulled up 5 minutes before the movie started. It was not ideal, but I had some schoolwork I had to get done, and then I hit some traffic. So I pulled up 5 minutes before the movie went. So I kind of rushed and I wasn't able to get any concessions or anything. Concessions were open though. But you had to wear a mask the entire time. You were socially distant. Although I will say, I walked up to my seat and there was a person sitting right next to the seat that I was supposed to sit in. So I kindly moved one seat over to have buffer. So I had one seat from me over here, and then I had one seat in between me and another 2 people over here. So that was kind of odd. In the end, it wasn't a big deal because no one ended up coming to the seat that I was sitting in, thankfully, because that would be weird if I had a ticket in the middle of 2 people. But that's besides the point. Socially distant, everyone was wearing a mask from what I could see. And it was just enjoyable. I saw it in IMAX. I saw it in the biggest screen possible, the way Nolan had intended it, and God, I am glad I did. But that's kind of it for the theater experience. Let me know down below in the comments if you guys have been going back to theaters. What has the experience been like for you guys? Has it been good? Has it been pleasant? Have people not been adhering to the social distancing and stuff like that? I didn't touch anything. I had my arms crossed the entire time. I was just kind of sitting there. I didn't touch my mask. I had my mask on. You know, you just gotta be safe, guys. I mean, we want to go back to the movies, and yes, that's great, but we also want to be safe. We do not want to, have theaters close again because of breakouts. So everyone be safe. Please wear your masks. But at least I got to see Tenet this year. That's all I'm going to say. We got the teaser for Dune I got to see, which was pretty cool. I believe a new Black Widow trailer. One I don't think I've seen before, but seeing that stuff in IMAX was also cool. But we're going to get past that. Without further ado, I think let's just get right into the synopsis. The synopsis for Tenet: a secret agent embarks on a dangerous, time-bending mission to prevent the start of World War III. 8 out of 10 on IMDb, 82% on Rotten Tomatoes, 96% on Metacritic. So I'm going to start off by saying Christopher Nolan doesn't miss. He never has, and that track record continues. He did not miss. This is a masterclass in just technicality, or the technical aspects, the effects, the direction, the cinematography, the editing, the sound design. This was a masterclass in technique and technical stuff. It really was. Nolan directed just an incredible, jaw-dropping, mind-bending adventure here. He really did. And I'm going to come off and say what I thought. I've seen some other reviews, and I'll just say real quick, the sound mixing, there are a few issues, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was in an IMAX theater, so like it was blaring in my face, and I could pretty much tell what people were saying. I mean, there were a few instances where like, oh, what do you say? But it wasn't anything so ground-shattering that it was bad. That was the first thing. Is it hard to follow? I didn't really find it that hard to follow. A lot of people have said it's like really hard to follow and really hard to keep up with. You need to like keep up and try to keep up. John David Washington's character literally says that in one of the trailers. Well, keep up. But like if you keep up and you're paying attention, you're not going to your phone, you're not getting sidetracked, like you're like paying attention, it's not incredibly difficult to think of. Now I'm definitely gonna have to go see it again because there's definitely stuff I missed. There's definitely little aspects that I didn't know, and going into it I will have a whole different appreciation for it. But in the end, I was left like, yeah, I get it, I got it, like, you know, that made sense, and that was awesome. I was so happy because if I was confused and I didn't get it, I wouldn't be giving it a great review. But since I feel like I got it and I know what I'm talking about, like it makes me feel good because I'm like, this was such a great movie. The audacity of Christopher Nolan. I literally wrote that down on my sheet. The audacity. The things that this guy did, all practical, no CGI, making people literally film scenes in reverse so that you can get the effect that he's going for was amazing. Actually seeing it on the screen was amazing. The trailers, it doesn't make any sense. Watching the special features, it didn't make any sense. I was like, what is this? How is this going to work? But when you watch it in the scope of the entire movie, it actually works. It really does. And you're like, oh man, what's happening? It was just incredible. It's a globe-trotting story. You are in so many different locations and places, exotic locations, it was awesome. It was literally like a James Bond-esque spy thriller that took you all around the world while also tackling this really intricate sci-fi element. And that was just, it blew my mind. It was Inception-like blown mind times a billion. My mind was actually blown how they were able to do this. The writing's really good. A lot of people were saying that the issue is that there wasn't a lot of character development. You don't know anything about the characters. I didn't. Yes, that's true. That's true. And with that, you don't have a lot of emotion towards the characters. But it didn't like deter from the plot so much. From the start of the movie, you are in action and you are going, and you are just going around the world and going on. You have these ridiculous sequences, and like that's what takes up the entire 2 hour and 30-minute runtime. Is that there's not a lot of room for those moments, and when there is, they're not brought up from John David Washington or Robert Pattinson. You know, they're brought up from other people in the film, and those people are the ones that shined. I need to pull up her name because she was fantastic, and I don't want to screw up her name. So let me pull up her name real quick so that because she was one of the best aspects of the film. What's her name? Elizabeth Debicki. Her character is great. She brings the depth, the emotion, enough emotion to carry the entire cast and film in this film. That's all I needed. I liked to have that. Because it is kind of like, oh, you're trying to prevent World War III. Okay, well, we've heard that story before. Let's see some stakes. And there are through her character. And that was enough for me. For me, at least. For some people, that's not enough, and I completely understand that. But for me, that was enough. I didn't need to know a lot about John David Washington's character, who doesn't even have a name. His name is the protagonist. I didn't need to know a lot about Robert Pattinson's character. I didn't. I was going along on this adventure with him, but to have character elements helped. But not having character development for some of the characters didn't kill it for me, like it did for some other people. So that was one thing I would say, is I think the writing overall is relatively solid. And for Nolan to be able to come up with this was amazing. And a lot of people are trying to figure out the inversion and trying to really figure out how it works. My tip would be, don't try to, and this is literally a quote from the trailer again and from the movie, don't try to understand it. Just feel it and just go with it. Because I was trying to figure it out at the beginning. Because the beginning is kind of when you learn about it and learn about what's going on. I was trying to figure it out so bad. I was like, how does this work? And I was like, you know what? Let's just not try to understand, like literally not try to understand. The character that says that, the scientist that says that, isn't talking to John David Washington. She's talking to the audience, like literally. Don't try to understand it. Just go with it. Literally, just go with it. You'll have a much more enjoyable time because you're not trying to figure it out the entire time. That's what I did, and I ended up enjoying it immensely. The performances were great. John David Washington gives a fantastic performance. Robert Pattinson's fantastic. We already talked about DeBecky. She's great. Kenneth Branagh is a fantastic villain. Everyone, even the supporting characters are great. I had a great time with all of them overall. The action in the sequences, they're ridiculous, but they're awesome. I mean, I could name them all. There's a hallway sequence. There is the final sequence. I'm not going to get into it, but the final sequence. The damn airplane sequence. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to spoil it for anyone. You already saw it pretty much you saw some of it in the trailer, but the dang airplane sequence. The opening sequence of the movie. I mean, it's all fantastic. And it's all done so well. And it's done with the inversion and the backwards and the forwards. Like that it was masterful. It was choreographed fantastic. It was great. Oh, the highway scene. Why did I miss the highway scene? You saw it in the special features. They shut down a freaking highway for like days. La La Land, hold my beer. So that was the most enjoyable part of the movie, and that was a big chunk of the movie. So that felt good because it wasn't like the best part, but it was only a little bit. A lot of the movie was these very big, grandiose sequences that only I think Nolan could pull off. These people trust him to do it. And the fact that he did it all practically, with no CGI and no special effects, stuff like that, I'm floored. It's absolutely insane, and it's awesome. That's kind of it. I mean, I kind of already hit on these notes as I was talking. It's not extremely hard to follow, I didn't think. If you sit there and you really just pay attention, it's not really that hard to follow. And again, it's a technical masterclass. I mean, Nolan, this was his moment. And he took it, and this is what he's been building up to for years. And he took it and he went with it, and it was just absolutely fantastic. So with the good comes the bad. The one bad is there is a lack of character development, so you don't have as much emotion, and you don't feel the stakes as much. But it's still like Elizabeth Debicki, I believe. Elizabeth Debicki does a great job on her. Again, she carries it, so that doesn't ding it that much. But that's it with the bad. That's it. Everything else, I really enjoyed everything else in this movie. It's so amazing. So we get into the point breakdown. The point breakdown. Entertainment, out of 25 points. I was locked in from start to finish, and I was highly entertained. Performances, 20 out of 20. They were fantastic. The direction, it's Nolan, 10 out of 10. You guys already know. The writing, 10 out of 10. Again, there's not a lot of character development, but for me it worked. It didn't kill it for me. But emotion, 8 out of 10. There wasn't as much emotion because there wasn't as much character development. So 8 out of 10. Cinematography, 10 out of 10. Beautiful. Pacing, 5 out of 5. Bro, guys, like, usually I'll check my phone at one point, and I'll, like, check the time and stuff. I was locked in from start to finish, and then at a blink of an eye, the film was over. Or we were in the climax, and the film was almost over. It went by really, really quickly. Rewatchability, 5 out of 5. Oh my gosh, I'll watch the crap out of this movie so many times. It's insane. And then automatic, 5 out of 5 points. So that's it. If you did the math, that is a 98 out of 100. It is currently my favorite film of the year. I decided to knock down The Last Dance and Hamilton. They were both at 100. I docked them 5 points because, yeah, they're both amazing, but they're not like feature films. So I took out the automatic 5 points for getting a movie made, which, yes, it's still amazing, and I give them all that credit. But like movies like Tenet, movies like The Invisible Man, and like Palm Springs, like they're like just at a whole nother level. They both are still at 95. They got perfect in all of the others. I just took the automatic 5 points out. So Tenet is officially right now my favorite film, the best film of the year. I don't think it's gonna be moving very much. You guys see my Nolan ranking where it falls. Spoiler, it's up there pretty high. But yeah, guys, let me know down below in the comments, what did you think of Tenet? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let's talk about your theater experience. How was your theater experience going back to the movie theaters? And yeah, let's just have a conversation down below, guys. Again, huge announcement update video coming on Friday. Go check it out. Go listen to it. A lot of stuff to talk about. It's one from the heart. It's got some sad stuff. It's got some happy stuff. There's some great announcements in there. Make sure you guys go check it out. But guys, that is pretty much it. Thanks so much for taking time to click on the video, like, comment, subscribe, and all that means the absolute world. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next video.